Hi everyone, it's Isabella here and welcome back to another episode of Angel Talk. Okay, here is the dealio, y'all. This is a very fun topic for me, okay? I am someone who I love going out, okay? I have no shame in this. I like the attention I get from the confidence and feeling cute and being cute. Yeah, and I don't feel bad about that in any way, okay? I don't give a shit. I don't care if anyone judges me. Don't lie. There's some times where you like going out and if you feel good and other people notice, you're like, fuck yeah. Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, I feel great. Yeah, I look good. There's nothing wrong with that. However, some of us maybe aren't there yet, right? Some of us need a little bit more practice in social settings. Some of us need to learn how to be more confident in social settings and how to get there, right? And I want to talk about that because I feel like I'm hitting a point where I am mastering this and I feel so good, right? So whether you're going to the grocery store and you feel a little weird because it's new, whether you're going to out to a bar by yourself because you want to, and again, it's new, you're a little sketched out, you don't want to feel goofy or look goofy, you know what I'm talking about. Whether you're walking down the street by yourself and all of a sudden you're like, am I walking funny? Am I walking, are my legs too far apart, walking wide? You know what I'm talking about, the weird stuff, okay? We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about the things that I've done, things that I've learned, and what I do to make myself the best that I can be and the most confident in social settings. And honestly, give the vibe that I am just the most confident person in the damn world at that point, okay? I feel like I've actually had people tell me that, and it's so funny because I'm like, oh wow, I feel a little silly sometimes. And I didn't even realize that they thought that. So if I give off that impression, phenomenal. I'm going to talk to you about it, okay? So first of all, I want to get this out of the way as the biggest disclaimer. Confidence in a social setting does not mean that you think you're better than everyone, okay? I want to make that super clear, okay? Feeling good, feeling hot, feeling yourself, feeling like you are just it and everything, that's good. That's great. Enjoying that people are noticing your confidence, that's okay too, all right? But yeah, no, it has nothing to do with feeling better than anyone else, and I want to make that clear because this is not a fucking podcast for mean girl shit, okay? Or weird tearing down other women shit. Absolutely not, okay? So I know some of you though, where, and I used to be like this, okay? Where I used to be one of those where I wouldn't feel that outgoing major confidence of I can conquer the world until I had a shot or two, okay? Now, I'm not a big drinker, so that is enough for me for the night. 2, we're done. I gotta stop, that's okay. But I think I've hit a point now where I don't even need that to get all I've got this, you know what I mean? And I feel like that is an accomplishment for me because when I can hit that fun confidence and feeling myself, it's phenomenal. So I'm going to give you some steps, okay? First thing you're going to want to do, you're going to want to prepare for this, all right? So when it comes to an event, I'm going to give a couple of examples, okay? So let's say you're going to meet some friends at a very brand new place. You're a little, of course you're going to be with friends, but it's new, right? It's a new place. You got to find a place to park. You're going to be around new people. It's a different setting, you name it, okay? If there's anything at all that you need to look at, that's that location, look at it. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to a bar, right? Look that bar up on Instagram. 90% of the time, you're probably going to find it on Instagram and you'll at least see some visuals, right? You're going to at least look at the where you're at and places that you'll be in that area. I do that all the time. I will look up restaurants. I will look up bars so I can visually know what it looks like so I can find it easier, but also so I know what's going on. This sounds really weird, but I feel more confident when I know the area or I'm more familiar with it, If I'm walking into some place blindly, I get a little bit more okay, this is new. I automatically respond that way, and I don't know if there's some psychology behind that, but if I'm not familiar with even the visuals of places, sometimes I'm like, okay, oh boy, and I go into protection mode. But if I'm kind of looking over it, then I'm able to feel a little bit better walking in. It's silly, I know, but that is what it is. Additionally, if you're going to this bar, okay? Look up menus. I literally can't recommend this enough. Get as much information as you can. If you're nervous when you go to new places, get as much information as you can about any place you're going to, okay? I don't give a shit knowing exactly where I'm going and what places look like. And if I can get as much information as I can for, let's say, a menu, if I see someone that I know there, that's better. It makes you feel more confident in the setting that you're at. Additionally, of course, it's going to help you out when it comes to preparation. If you know people that are going there, that's definitely going to help. But I feel like if you don't know someone that you're going to when it comes to a place that you're visiting, honestly, I always look for another woman, another bartender, another waiter, waitress. I at least know there's home base right there. Because if something's up, if something feels weird to me, I know who I can go to. And that's always something that I think of. Now, this might kind of sound like basic and extra, but for me, I mentally have to go through that because to me, going through all this stuff means I'm safe. And when I feel safe, I don't have to go into like protection mode of like, okay, hold up. Am I good here? You know what I mean? I can go in my normal, bubbly, confident self instead of being more cautious in the place I'm going to. You know what I mean? It helps your mind. Additionally, with preparations, though, I will say, think of the things that you're going to do and think of what you're going to look like and what you wear. I am so all about finding the best outfit that makes me feel hot. Now, this is going to kind of vary for some people, and this is something I've struggled with for a hot second, was dressing up, and some people weren't dressed up as much as I was. And I would like to say, we live in a small world. We are on a floating rock, right? We are literally just existing. Nothing matters, right? Nothing matters. So wear that fucking outfit. I do not care if no one else is dressed up like you. I don't give a shit, babe. I don't care. Because guess what? If that's their own prerogative. If they're underdressed or if they're dressed their own way, that's cool. Congratulations. If you feel hot with that outfit on, wear it and wear it confidently. I love doing this all the time because sometimes, there's some places where I go and I'm like, I think I'm a little bit more dressed up than the area, but I feel good. Like I got excited putting that outfit on. And that's honestly what helps me. And I feel like that's a little bit of a safety blanket for me is me dressing up in the way that makes me feel the best possible. And when you feel your best in whatever that outfit may be, whether that is literal sweats or whether that is high heels and a fucking mini skirt, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that is, wear it because you are going to feel so much better and confident that way. I think it's a phenomenal way to go. But yeah, don't care what other people think with that. And if grown adults make fun of you for what you're wearing, how sad? You know what I mean? How fucking sad if someone's going to literally be, instead of getting excited that someone feels confident enough to go out like that, they're going to make their bitches. And I'm just going to tell you right now. So don't worry about that. This is your night, okay? This is your moment to feel good. And we're working on you. This is none of our business what anyone else thinks about. We're working on you and we want you to feel as confident as you can. So find a good outfit, okay? And then, of course, things you're going to do. So if you need to map out your night or whatever the situation is, if you're going to a bar, if you're going to multiple bars, right? If you're going to go visit a friend of yours, going to someone's house, think of, okay, this is what I'm doing at this time. Have it mentally in your head of this is what's going on at what time. So you can be done when you want to be done, okay? So I honestly feel better because if I'm like, God, I don't know when I'm going to be done with this day or this night, you know what I mean? Instead, I have a set time for myself. And then if I change my mind by that time that hits, because usually for me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go home by midnight because that is pretty damn late for me. If I change my mind then, great, congratulations, I'm out longer. But if anything, I know damn well I've got a reason to leave quickly and I'm done. And I feel better knowing everything is mapped out. This is probably going to help out a lot for people who need some sort of control in order to feel secure with going out if you're new to certain areas, okay? I do this all the time. I feel more confident and safer. Now, I'm talking about all these things. You're kind of like, maybe you're wondering what the hell some of this stuff has to do with confidence. Literally, this is building a foundation for safety for you. Finding out what kind of outfit you like. Figuring out everything about the night or the day or whatever event you're going to, figuring out the drink order, figuring those things out builds a level of safety for you so you can feel confident enough to walk into that area because there's less unknown. Because I feel like sometimes with confidence in certain areas when we're working on our confidence, right? When we're still stepping into it, it's kind of hard because there's still unknown things, right? And so giving ourselves the opportunity to work on that confidence muscle is going to make it easier for us in the long run. So doing those little extra things and consciously helping yourself out is going to let you, practice that habit of pushing yourself out there, trying to practice the art of being more confident, going out and doing things more. It's going to help you out, okay? I have done this and it helped me out a lot to where now I just go. I don't even think about it. I just go. You know what I mean? So the next thing I want to talk about with being confident in social setting is break down your uncertainty or reframe your uncertainty or break down your fears. And this is a favorite thing that I have to do with anything in life, by the way. So this is something that's a trick for many things. But for example, let's say you're dressed up and you're like, God, what if someone thinks about me? Let's honestly logically think about that. what bad is going to happen to you if somebody thinks that you look a little silly or isn't dressed how they would like? Are they God? Like, are they the higher power? No. Okay, who fucking cares? Who cares what Jeremy thinks? Who cares what Bethany thinks? If that's not their taste, that's not their taste, but that has nothing to do with you, okay? And also, if someone thinks something, you can't read their mind, right? So you don't really know. And even if, now this was horrible and I hope no one experiences this, but even if someone walks up to you and says, I fucking hate your outfit, okay, and like, what is it going to do to you? It might not make you feel magical by any means, of course not. However, it's not hurting you. It's not going to stop you from having a good night. Like, you're out already. You're out wearing it. You're not going to go home and change. You don't need to do that. It's not like the words are not going to hurt you. Or for example, I think about this with driving and parking, because I'm going to tell you right now, the level of stress I get driving to a new place and not knowing the parking situation, that's literally why I will Google Maps things and look at the parking lot. I will. If I'm trying to find a parking lot, and there's a lot of people walking and I feel super self-conscious, like everyone's looking at me and I'm like, oh my God, what? Because like, what if I mess up or what if I hit a curb? Like, weird shit, I know. But what if I hit a curb? I have to sit back and be like, okay, Bella, let's say you hit the curb. What's going to happen? You giggle it off. Shit happens. Everyone fucking hits curbs sometimes. Okay. You're not going to die. Okay. You're being careful. You're being cautious, and you will end up finding a parking space. You'll be okay. It's going to be all right. I have to literally sometimes sit myself down and break my thoughts down of like, how is this hurting me? And how is this anxiety actually real? Or is it fake? You know? And so the feeling of freaked out, like, oh God, how can this thing go bad? Will negatively impact our confidence. You know, it's not going to make us feel excited about the night, and it can honestly potentially ruin it. So hopping on it and being like, okay, no, we're going to break down what we're scared of. What is the problem and why is it a problem? Is it actually going to hurt me? Or is my mind trying to fuck with my night right now? You know, because I'm going to be honest, my mind is trying to mess with me. My mind has been like, you're walking funny. You're walking real weird up the street. And I'm just like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm walking like every other person is. I'm just in high heels. I'm okay. And honestly, at the end of the day, if I even was walking funky, even if I was walking a little funky, who cares? Who cares? I am living my own damn life and I'm not going to be concerned about that. I'm getting to the place I got to go. Like, there's so much in our world that it's hard to untrain with those thoughts because we've been so trained to think that's something we have to care about so much. But the more that you break down your thoughts and the uncertainties of a night, you're going to catch it faster. And you're also, again, going to stop the like anxiety and freak out a little bit more. And you're going to be able to still feel better about the situation you're walking into. And I have been loving doing that. Another thing I want to say, if you are someone that wants to work on your confidence in social settings, make a goal for yourself. One goal. Okay. So maybe that is, you know what? I'm not going to get too much to drink to make myself feel like, you know, a little tipsy enough to where I'm that natural confidence with alcohol, right? I had to start consciously not drinking for a bit. Because I was like, I mean, I'm not a big drinker, you know, but I was like, let's see, I'm going to try to learn how to do this without it. Is it easier with alcohol? Yeah, it is. I don't know what the hell happens, but I become invincible, right? But I was like, okay, I'm not going to. I'm going to practice this skill because the more I practice it, the better it's going to get. And this is going to transfer over to the rest of my life. And it's going to be fun. It's going to make my life easier. And I'm going to feel more carefree with walking into social settings. So that could be a goal. Or maybe a goal is you talk to one stranger that night. Now that, again, requires some confidence. That puts yourself out there. You have to try and create a conversation completely out of scratch with somebody. And that might be a little difficult for you. But maybe having just a small goal, just a little something that would intimidate you and maybe make you not feel as confident. Maybe try and push that button. Maybe just test the waters a little bit. And again, I'm not saying do everything all at once. That's not going to make anything better. It's going to be really hard. You're going to get overwhelmed. Do not do that to yourself. Be nice to yourself. And take baby steps. So make a small little goal and practice that when you're out. And again, everything when you start off, when it comes to things like this, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun. And it's hard unlearning the lack of confidence, right? It's hard unlearning the things that you've told yourself for years. It's hard not thinking that you look silly as hell. You know, it's difficult. Your mind has been trained to think that. But the little steps you take and the more you practice, you are going to notice the biggest change. You're going to be like, shit, I used to be scared of this. And you start getting so impressed with yourself. So a goal, make a little goal. Make little goals for yourself. It helps. Next up, the way you talk is going to help a ton. So I get into this little bit of a zone, and this sounds silly, but I do this. And I did this a while ago too with just when I wasn't really fully confident, is if I would go out, I would just be like, okay, I'm going to I'm going to make myself into this role, right? I'm going to literally morph myself into this person, and I'm going to pretend that I am the hottest fucking thing there is, right? I'm going to pretend that I know what's going on. I know what's happening. I know you. I know, like, I'm just going to pretend. And the weirdest thing, it started working. So when I would be walking, I would be very conscious about my posture. I'd be like, if I don't feel good, I'm at least going to try and portray myself to be it. And it started making me literally feel like it. I don't understand it. I don't know what psychology is behind it, but from how I would dress to how I would speak, I wouldn't shy away from it. I would be like, no, I'm going to pretend that I am the most confident person there is, and that I'm just everything and more. I was delusional. Okay, I know this is delusional and wild, but I was like, yeah, people think I'm hot as fuck when I walk through. I look confident. All these things. I was just I was literally blowing my ego up so severely. I really was, okay? And it worked, honestly, because all of a sudden, it's like I got to this zone where I'm not concerned about what people are thinking when they're looking at me. I'm not even thinking if they're thinking bad. I automatically am like, they think good things. They think I look good. And I keep walking. I do my own thing. I go to where I gotta go. I'm not looking at a bunch of other people. I'm just like, sometimes I just dead eye it and keep walking, and I get into like the tunnel vision. And it was kind of the only thing that helped me get used to doing things. And then I started feeling like I don't have to keep telling myself that I am like the greatest thing there is. I truly believe I'm great. And of course, that mentality had nothing to do with like comparison. It was me, myself, and I are wonderful. We deserve to be here. And I'm going to literally play this role of, I know exactly what's going on. I've got it all. I've got everything good to go. And it weirdly enough started becoming a realistic thing for me. So now it's like, I'm not concerned about all these settings. I'm not concerned if someone is looking at me. I'm just like, oh, if they're looking at me, it's in a good way. You know, I'm like, if something bad happens, if I were to slip, because I did slip and almost eat shit one night, big whoop. It was my heel. Oh no, you know? Oh God, I don't know where I'm going. No, I'll figure it out. I am just so confidently, and I don't make it aware to anyone. And I think that was also what helped. I didn't want to ever make anyone aware that I was insecure or I was questioning or I was nervous. I wanted it to be no one could tell. And it weirdly started becoming, I wasn't questioning, right? I wasn't nervous. I wasn't too cautious. I wasn't just confused or freaked out about a situation. Or I wasn't anxious. I became very, very confident with that practice. And I feel like morphing into this character, as goofy as that is, helped me out. And I know that sounds silly. I feel like that sounds exactly like some like Disney high school movie. Okay. But I'm telling you, morphing into this like hot character mode, it just does it for me. And it did it for me for the longest time. And now it's like, oh, that's just how I act. That's just how I function. I think it's helpful. So I don't know. I recommend setting yourself up like that. So yeah, focus on your posture. Walk straight ahead. Don't be confused. You're not confused. You know it all. You know what's up. If you need help, directly speak to them and look them in the damn eyes. You are talking to them. You need things, right? You need help, and you are there living in your own little world. Honestly, it's the only way I can describe this is main character syndrome. Main character. You are the main character. You are literally in this movie world and moment right now, and you are in control of what's going on, and it helps out immensely. I'm going to try and hold myself in a way of exactly what I think a really confident main character would be. And it started working, and it started becoming me. And then last but not least, you guys, this is the biggest thing I gotta say, practice, okay? You can't expect yourself to start getting confident in social settings if you're never out in social settings. You also can't expect yourself to get better if you don't do slight challenges, okay? You have to start trying it. And again, if you don't want to work on that, you don't have to. right? This is all up to you. But if you want to get more confident in social settings, you're gonna have to try and test things. You're gonna have to push yourself out of your own comfort zone. And it sucks. It super sucks. You get stressed, you get anxious. You have to have moments where you step out of the bathroom and be like, oh my God, I'm literally gonna have a panic attack. I've done that many times, right? I psyched myself out in my car before because I thought my outfit was ridiculous when it was perfectly fine. Those things happen, okay? Your feelings are 100% valid, but the payoff is worth it. Also, I would like to say one last thing as well is the thoughts are not always going to go away. You know what I mean? There's still some moments where I get a little questionable. I'm like, wait a minute. But then I have to fall into what I know, which I'm like, okay, I'm the main character. This is my moment. And it helps me protect myself from being scared or nervous of anything. I start just doing what I know I need to do and being like, nope, you're going to get better at this. It's all about practice. Keep going. This is all part of the process. And it's like I talk myself through it and it helps out immensely. But you're going to have to take some little conscious steps. Doesn't have to be big, but little conscious steps and do things and set yourself up in a position to make you feel as good as possible. So that way you can test the waters. That way you can be like, this night went well and I felt really, yeah, I can do this. You start believing in yourself more. And I think it's a really cool thing. It takes a bit. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay. So that was it for today's episode of how to be more confident in social settings, how to work on that, things you can do, you name it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode because this is definitely a fun one for me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see my angels in the next video. Bye.